Starting over with simplicity. Finding peace. After 60, there comes a moment, quiet, often unexpected, when we stop and realize just how much we've been carrying. The clutter in our closets, and the clutter in our hearts, the noise of expectations, the weight of should-haves, and the silent pull of responsibilities that never quite seemed to end. For many women, especially after 60, life can feel like a room that's been filled for decades, full of memories, mementos, and emotions we've tucked away, thinking we might need them someday. But what if we don't? What if letting go is not giving up, but finally coming home to ourselves? This video is an invitation to pause, to breathe, to gently ask yourself, what am I still holding on to? And is it truly serving me? Because maybe the next chapter of your life doesn't need to be louder, fuller, or busier. Maybe it just needs to be yours.
Letting go to let in. Holding on to old clothes, just in case. Holding on to roles we've long outgrown, caretaker, fixer, peacekeeper. Holding on to guilt, to grief, to that quiet voice that once told us, put yourself last. But here's the truth no one tells us. Letting go isn't loss, it's permission. Permission to live lighter, to feel deeper, and to create space for something new. Margaret, a widow from Oregon, once told me about her late husband's coat. It had hung in the closet for 5 years. She never wore it, never touched it. But she couldn't let it go. One day she sat on the floor beside that closet and cried, not because of the coat, but because she finally understood. She wasn't holding on to him. She was holding on to who she had been with him. And in releasing that coat, she found not an ending, but a beginning. A chance to rediscover herself, not as a wife or a widow, but as a woman with a life still unfolding. What about you? What are you holding on to that no longer reflects who you are today? The truth is, when we let go of what no longer serves us, we make room for peace, for clarity, for joy we forgot we deserved. Evelyn and the power of stillness. Evelyn had spent most of her life moving, raising 3 children, managing a household, saying yes when she wanted to say no. When she retired at 67, something strange happened. The house got quieter, the phone rang less, and the silence? It wasn't peaceful, it was loud. Loud with thoughts she hadn't had time to think, loud with questions she'd buried under years of busyness. Who am I now? What do I actually enjoy? What do I even want anymore? For weeks, she filled the silence with distractions, TV, errands, scrolling on her phone. But one morning something shifted. She sat on her porch with a cup of tea, no background noise, no list to tackle, just stillness. And in that stillness, a memory surfaced. Painting. She hadn't picked up a brush in 40 years. The next day, she bought a small canvas and a beginner's set of paints. Not to become an artist, not to impress anyone, but simply to feel something that was hers. Evelyn told me that first painting wasn't good, but it was mine, and for the first time in years, so was that moment. It wasn't about mastering a skill, it was about reclaiming her joy. Stillness had opened a door, not to emptiness, but to possibility. So many of us fear quiet because we're afraid of what we'll hear. But what if that quiet is exactly where your voice lives? What if, beneath the noise of life, your truest self has simply been waiting, patiently, for a moment to breathe? June's story, Rediscovering Life. In Les, June was a woman who had spent decades collecting things. Her house was a gallery of memories, trinkets from vacations, family heirlooms, and enough kitchenware to feed an army. But when her children moved out and the years passed, June started feeling something she hadn't expected, overwhelmed. It wasn't the house that was too small. It was the space she'd filled with things that no longer reflected who she was. And so, at 71, June made a decision that would change everything. She sold her family home. It felt like I was giving away pieces of myself, she said, but she also knew it was time. Time to let go of what was holding her back, to create space for what might come next. She moved to a smaller apartment, one that was cozy, but simple. At first it felt empty. The walls echoed with a quiet she wasn't used to. But in that space, with fewer things to distract her, June discovered something beautiful: the freedom of having just enough. Her mornings became slower, more intentional. She would sit by the window with a cup of tea, reading, or simply watching the world go by. She found herself reaching for things she'd long forgotten: her gardening gloves, an old sketchbook she hadn't opened in years. It was like meeting myself again, she shared with a smile. In the simplicity of a smaller home, June had found more than she could have ever imagined: more time, more peace, more room for the things that truly mattered. She no longer felt the need to fill every inch of space with stuff. Instead, she filled her time with what nourished her soul. Maybe for you too, less isn't less. Maybe it's more. More peace, more connection, more clarity. Sometimes we think we need more space, more things, more distractions. But in truth, we need less. We need less to remember who we truly are. Clara's story: confronting the past and healing relationships. Clara had lived in the same house for over 40 years. It was a house filled with memories, some happy, some painful. And tucked away, high up in the attic, were the remnants of a chapter she had long closed. Old letters, old photographs, things from her childhood that she'd never dared to confront. For years, Clara had kept those things sealed away, believing that the memories were best left untouched. But as she approached her 65th birthday, Clara realized something. The more she held on to the past, the more she stayed there. She couldn't move forward when the weight of unresolved emotions was holding her back. So one afternoon, Clara made a choice. She climbed into that attic and began the long overdue task of clearing out what no longer served her. As she sifted through boxes and old keepsakes, something unexpected happened. The memories, which had once felt so heavy, started to lose their power. In one box, Clara found a bundle of letters from her sister. Letters filled with words of love and laughter from years gone by. They hadn't spoken in over a decade. Hurt feelings had slowly crept in and built a wall between them. But in that moment, holding those letters, Clara realized that the rift could finally be healed. She picked up the phone and dialed her sister's number. "I'm sorry," Clara said, her voice trembling. And from that simple act of reaching out, the walls began to come down. They didn't solve everything in one conversation, but that call marked the beginning of their healing. It wasn't just about cleaning out the attic, it was about clearing out her heart. Clara learned that sometimes the things we hold on to the longest are the things that hurt us the most. And in letting go, we create space not just for peace, but for the chance to rebuild what was broken. Clara's story is a reminder that healing comes when we're willing to confront the past, to release what holds us back, and to invite in the possibility of new beginnings, whether that's in relationships, self-love, or simply rediscovering the beauty of being who we are today. Embracing the simplicity of a new beginning. After hearing these stories, you might be wondering, is it really possible? Can we truly let go of the weight that's been holding us down? Can we step into a simpler, more fulfilling life, even after all these years? The answer is a resounding yes. You see, it's never too late to start fresh. It's never too late to choose yourself. Every moment is a new beginning, waiting for you to step into it. Yes, the journey may be gradual, it may require patience, but with each small decision, each tiny act of letting go, of choosing peace, of nurturing the relationships that truly matter, you begin to build a life that's lighter, brighter, and more authentic. Like Margaret, you can find freedom in releasing what no longer serves you. Like Evelyn, you can rediscover joy in the stillness. Like June, you can reclaim your life by embracing the beauty of enough. Like Clara, you can heal wounds from the past and open the door to new possibilities. So, what is your next step? Take a moment today, right now, to reflect on what you're holding on to. What can you release? What can you simplify? Start small. Maybe it's one drawer, one room, or one conversation. Make time for quiet. Make time for yourself. And most importantly, know this: you are worthy of a life filled with peace, joy, and simplicity. You are not too late. Your best years are still ahead of you, waiting to be lived with intention, with clarity, and with love. So, let go, make space, and watch how your life unfolds in ways you never imagined. If you're ready to take that first step toward a simpler, more meaningful life, I encourage you to share your journey with us. Join the conversation, and let's inspire each other to live with less, but live more. Thank you for being here. Let's embrace this new chapter together. Maybe you see a part of yourself in these stories. Maybe, like June, Clara, or Evelyn, you're standing at the edge of something new, quiet, simple, and deeply yours. If this video touched you, I invite you to pause and reflect. What could you let go of? What small joy could you let in today? Share your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear your story. And if you're walking this path too, consider subscribing. We'll explore more gentle ways to reclaim peace, purpose, and beauty, one quiet moment at a time.